Hello everyone, it is me, Shadlow. This is my first video about Redstone. And not only is it my first video about Redstone, it's my first video ever on this channel. So it would be nice if you could, well, like and subscribe. And maybe share. And I know you've heard that a million times before, but please do. Anyways, we're gonna get right into the guide. So, Redstone. What is it? Redstone is, well, let's just say, Redstone is a combination of electronics and mechanical, is a great way to put it. So, this is redstone dust. You place it down like any other block, but it has a purpose. Which, that purpose is to help make those mechanisms that I've been talking about. So, first, let's talk about power sources. Let's set up a line of redstone of different power sources. I'm pretty sure that would be enough. And there's many uses for redstone that would be not great. But in some cases, and by some cases I mean most cases, it comes in very handy. Say if you want to build, I don't know, a door, but not like any other door. You would use a piston door. And also, yes, and if you comment in the section, if you comment that my thing isn't moving, I'm plugging in my mouse that actually has a middle click working as I'm talking. So, redstone can be used for many things, like I said. Some of those things can get annoying, I guess you could say. Hold on, I'm trying to test something out. Redstone can be used for many things. So, let's go over power sources. Also, if anyone knows how to, like, put stuff quickly in your hotbar, please let me know, because I completely forgot, yet I've been playing this game for many years. So, power sources. What I'm putting in my hotbar right now are all different power sources. We'll go over tripwire hooks and lightning rods and daylight sensors and stuff like that later in other videos, because those are complex power sources. Oh yeah, by the way, this is Java Edition. For those of you who don't know what the difference is, Java Edition has a different redstone mechanic, unlike, I don't know, Bedrock, for example. Hey, I perfectly lined that up. That's unexpected. these are all redstone power sources. You may notice that these ones are powered currently, because these are constant power sources. Well, the others, well, at least one of them isn't constant. I meant one of them is constant and it's just flipped. These are constant power sources, although the block of redstone is, well, almost useless. I mean, it can be used for some stuff, but it's almost completely useless. Well, the redstone torch is useful for many different things. But this is a lever, or lever, depending on where you're watching this from, like the UK or something. I don't really know, because, yes. The lever is a switch of a sort, as you can tell. So this is the off position, and then when you flip it by right-clicking, unless you're left-handed, that would be right-clicking. Left-clicking for right-handed people, because if you use like the special hand control thingies. So you left-click, but for people who are right-handed, you right-click to toggle it on and off. Now, onto buttons. Yes, this is birch. Don't fight me, I don't really like birch either. I want you to notice something. See how that sends out a pulse? We'll talk about pulses and ticks in a little bit later. Look at the pulse, or the length, difference. There's a very different length, although that one goes off sooner than this one. Although they were turned on at different times, they still do have a different time thing. So if you're using something that needs, I don't know, a long tick maybe, you would want to use a wood button, which also the redstone section is where you get all these things. I'm sure you would have figured that out. This is a stone button and a black stone button. These are stone types of buttons. While the oak, spruce, birch, jungle, acacia, dark oak, crimson, and warped buttons are all wood variants of a button. Although oak came first, because, yeah. I'm pretty sure, unless stone came first out of all the buttons. But the variant of it is the oak button came first of the wood variants. Okay. So now that we moved on to that, let's get on to, well, as you can tell in my hotbar, pressure plates. The thing that no one uses anymore because they were very, very, well, and let's just say in classic, they were really useful. I mean, other than like other than this variant, which is stone pressure plate, the other ones are no longer used really anymore, unfortunately, because the Legacy Edition, I meant classic, because it was mostly used in classic. Oh well, I might as well just show you right now. So, pressure plates, they are, I guess you could say, different. These ones are pretty much useless now because, well, they used to output a certain amount depending on how much weight was put onto it. So, we can just don't mind heavy-weighted or lightweight anymore. Unless you use it for decoration. But stone, however, puts out a pulse. Well, it puts out an output for how long, whenever this is, whatever is put onto it. But that depends on how many items, because now the pressure plates, lightweight and heavyweighted were pretty much the only pressure plates useful. Stone and wooden pressure plates, I mean, they're pretty much the same thing now, except the other ones. Except stone you can only activate by foot. However, pressure plate, wood, you can activate by dropping an item. Well, that'll do it for this section. Yeah, that's a command, by the way. Okay, for the next section, we're gonna go over what is an output, because I've said the word output many times, and many of you may not know what an output is. A redstone output is what comes from a redstone source. So, here's a good example. Hold on. At least I'm pretty sure these work that way now. I hope. Nope. Now, an output is what outputs from something. As you can tell, this is a redstone output of a torch, and it only goes to this because it only goes to 15 is the highest output, or so you may think. Well, introducing the repeater. A repeater is, you have to have at least 14 outputs to continue it, but the repeater can have different ticks. So say, if we wanted, I don't know, say if you want a cool little display that you should have go off later or something, this is what you would do. You would use a repeater. As you could tell, there was a little bit of a delay, but the thing is, that isn't the biggest delay. The highest amount of delay is 4 ticks. This is 4 ticks. Well, however, this is 1 tick, and this is 2 ticks, and this is 3 ticks. I'm sure you can get the gist of that. Now, if you have an entire row of 4 ticks, it will take a while to give you an output. So to say, if I wanted, I don't know, this to go off later than what the output is. Now, if I break it, it'll also take longer to turn off. And I mean, also a redstone lamp is like, I'm sure you've heard of this before, glowstone. Except it's toggleable in glowstone. And I will show you recipes in a later video. But yeah. So another thing is, ticks is the amount of time something takes to turn on. or output. So this took 6 ticks to output that from that when it got connected. The other thing, however, I don't know how many ticks is because I'm not going to go rebuild it and count it. I'm sure some of you mathematicians can figure that out. I'm not the best at math. And is this an exposing thing? No. I also hate math. Don't start a war with me about math, please. Oh yeah, I forgot. These are, well, different outputs. Let's set that to 9 right now. Is there any other ones? Tripwire hooks will go on to in a different video because I may run out of time. Now, a trapped chest. Whenever you open it, as you can see in the corner there, it's getting powered. But that's because it's trapped, as in the name implies. Now, a daylight sensor you can have for the day, or you can have it inverted for the night, which originally there was only day, so yeah, that happened. So you would have to build something called a Redstone Inverter, which people still use, but let me give you an example real quick. An inverter, well, inverts a redstone output. So, say, since I have this set to daytime, since there's power, but it goes into the redstone torch, but it turns the torch off. And yes, torches are technically toggleable, but that's a little bit different of a toggle, which then changes the output for something. So say if it were to become nighttime now, it would be, well, that. And that's how that used to be, but now I'm in an earlier update, Mojang made it so you can invert sensors. So you can have it set to night, or you can have it set to day. Or you can have it as like a light switch. But that was a while ago. Now, you may have noticed this, a lightning rod. Well, let's just see what happens when we, well, do this. All we need to know is wait. As you can see there, for a split second. Also, meteoricals, you can see that it emits rain. I meant not rain, an output. Although I should probably keep it from destroying everything. It also keeps it away from builds, too. So, like, in separate chunks. Like, in a 1 chunk radius away from it, it will, so, diagonal, backwards, forwards, left to right, any direction 1 chunk away from it, it will protect from it, even if it's in the same chunk as well. So, it's nice that they added that in 1.18, which is the current update, but soon will be